Yo, what's up? Welcome to episode 7. That's what it says on the screen. At least I hope that's right. Of the Sweatlords podcast. I've got with me three, me and 3 other white dudes, and we're gonna deliver you some really unique content that you won't find anywhere else on the internet, which is 4 white dudes talking about Elden Ring.
Oh God! Oh no!
Garrett's like, is it too late to back out?
Thank you for having me. I will.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dip out.
Yeah, Ryan, this is actually your first time on the podcast. Not first time on the stream, but first time on the podcast, which
Yeah,
it's cool. I guess I feel like you're normally busy on Wednesdays, which is when we normally do this. But I'm trying to be flexible so like more different people can come on.
Yeah,
This is really exciting for me because I've actually never seen another white dude before.
Yeah,
So getting 4 of us together, it's crazy.
I know.
And we're all on webcam too. This is a first.
Yeah, that's yep, including Garrett for the first time ever on webcam.
Everybody knows what I look like now.
A real picture of Garrett in his element.
Yeah.
So
it was a good breakfast, by the way, if you're curious.
What is Garrett eating in that picture? Is it
It's
just
toast.
That doesn't even look like toast. It just looks like white bread, like lightly toasted white bread.
I don't think it was a real toaster. I'll be honest. I think it just popped out.
What actually is the context of that video?
I think it's a smart home thing. It was like when myself was talking about some smart home technology that Facebook wanted. I don't know. I can't remember. It's a bad video.
Sure.
And as per usual, it's very lizard-like behavior.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess other than Elden Ring, what are you guys up to? We might as well have some semblance of variety first.
This is the issue. We should have discussed this because literally nothing in my life is going on.
Well, that's fine because we could probably talk about Elden Ring for an hour and a half. Although,
besides Elden Ring, I've been playing Into the Radius, and that's about it.
I don't really know anything about that. I saw you playing it, and it's a VR game, right? So if it showed up on my Steam, I probably just ignored it.
Yeah, it's basically Stalker VR.
That's pretty cool.
To the point where like one of the load screen texts is like a quote directly from Roadside Picnic, but like it takes a lot of inspiration from it. If it was like a normal PC game, it would probably suck ass because like so much of it is about how you interact with things in VR. But like, it's really good, and it's if Stalker 2 sucks complete dick, at least I have that. So.
Stalker VR sounds. Stalker STOCKER VR. That sounds like you're working in the back room of the fucking Walmart VR.
I think there is about
VR.
work employees for Walmart VR. You know what's funny is that it is technically a real job because you'd be programming it, but like man, and dealing with like stock. But yeah, it's there probably is VR games where you stock shelves, given the way VR games are.
There is Job Simulator, but I think that's more of like a satire, isn't it?
It's like a joke thing. Yeah.
Is like it's not VR, but it's exactly what you think it is. It's you're going around stocking shelves and trying to avoid. It's essentially a horror game, but you're avoiding people trying to ask you.
What is that game? It's not on Steam.
It's on itch. It's a Night of the Consumer.
Oh, yeah, Night of the Consumer.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
It's got a very interesting style, but the dude.
Oh yeah, this is fucking wacky.
Job. Yeah,
wait, I kind of want to play this.
Yeah, you might like it. It's a little nerve wracking. It's kind of got more of an arcade style, and I think it is. You can beat it, but the difficulty ramp in it is really hard. So.
Yeah, I like the art style though. Yeah. It's got kind of a grotesque, like PSX almost like art style. I like it.
Yeah, but the dude apparently, I think it was his first game. He quit his shitty grocery job and made
that
a
was
game
the first
game about shitty.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, he wanted to take all that energy and put it into something creative.
That's kind of cool. I like that idea.
It's a good like Halloween game. I think that would be a good time to play it. But if you have I know you have like a huge fucking backlog. So
I do, but like all the time, I will just like inject random games into my stream just as I'm feeling it. So you never know. It might be a good stream game to pick up someday.
It's a good one-off. Yeah.
Yeah. I always like games like that. They usually make like good like quick videos for my second channel too, which I'm doing. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm doing daily uploads on my second channel, so I'm always trying to find shit that can go on that channel.
Daily uploads.
Damn,
Yeah, I mean it's just like I'm not editing anything really. I'm just doing it like on stream and then like just clipping it with Twitch and then just sending it to the second channel. But yeah, 30 minutes. Yeah, that's like perfect.
That's like you have to make an active effort to upload every single day. So
yeah,
especially YouTube's algorithm is very much like that.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy for that shit, dude.
Yeah, the main channel is my temple. That's where I like actually deliver quality content.
Well, you think you
quality.
Yeah, I do think I do. I think my channel is great, by the way.
Podcast.
Yeah,
I like your channel too. If I didn't like your channel, I wouldn't tell you.
Great, good to know.
Which was not a wise thing to insert after the previous statement.
Nice.
Is that why the podcast is on a separate channel? Because you don't want to defile your temple.
Well, I think the real thing is that like if I clicked on like someone else's channel and I saw that there was everything from like 3-hour Twitch VODs to 1.5-hour podcasts to like 20-minute edited down content, I wouldn't know what to think. I probably just wouldn't subscribe.
Oh, sure.
So that's really the reason I separate it. Is because I just don't want people to be confused about like what my channel is about.
I do have that problem with some people I subscribe to on YouTube where they'll make a series or something that I really enjoy, or like they make educational content, and then on the side they're doing something that I don't care about, but they upload a video of that thing almost every day.
Yeah.
So my feed gets like completely flooded with stuff I'm never going to watch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I try to keep
makes
the quality stuff that I actually like put effort into. Well, I shouldn't say that because I do put some effort into the podcast, but I don't have to edit anything. I dump the VOD and then I timestamp it. But it's still more effort than I put into the daily uploads on the second channel. But yeah, I suppose this is kind of an unfortunate, like, not unfortunate, but it's kind of an odd like first stream to have after I hit 1K subscribers on my YouTube channel. But yeah, I hit 1K subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is pretty cool. It's a very just like surreal thing because the number just went up really fast, and then all of a sudden I was like, that's about to hit 1,000. I mean, I've been doing stuff on that YouTube channel for like 3 years at this point. But a lot of it was like kind of just aimless, like stupid Siege videos.
Yeah,
and
like when did you switch over to like the dumpster branding shit?
That was probably about a year ago. Yeah. Maybe a little more, and then I started streaming a little under a year ago. So
okay.
When's the drama and subsequent apology video? I mean, it's inevitable, right? It's inevitable.
You should just title a video like I'm sorry and put it in unlisted, so when something does happen, you can just show that video. It's like I came prepared.
You can't make an apology video until you get a dog to put in it. So
yeah, that's true. The greatest apology video that I've ever seen is, I don't know if you guys know who Soda Poppin is. He's a Twitch streamer, but he got banned for like I believe accidentally showing nudity on VR chat, and he made a video where he was like, I am so sorry. Like, he's very not serious at all. He's like, me and the boys just wanted to look at some big anime titties. it's so fucking funny. But yeah, I actually did want to ask Ryan something, because I've seen you've been playing Lost Ark, correct?
Yes, I have.
So as someone, me personally, who absolutely basically deplores every MMO game that's not old school RuneScape, and even still, I'm not currently interested in old school RuneScape. Tell me why I should care about that game.
I enjoy that game.
Yeah,
because it's like a good blend between Diablo, like fighting, where you fight like hordes of smaller enemies and lead ups to a big ass boss, versus mindless collectibles and small like charming bits. Okay. So like the main story, I don't give a shit about. Like it's terrible. I hit
That's
escape.
every MMO though.
Yeah.
We looked my friend Patrick, he looked up to see how long like the game would take if you watched all the cutscenes, and he's like, you could play 100 hours of not skipping any cutscenes, and you wouldn't make it past the tutorial island.
Oh my
Like,
god.
It's insane out. So I literally just started hitting escape, and there are certain points when it's just like unskippable cutscene. It's your first time playing. You're like, no, why?
So the story is like really intrusive then.
Yeah, it's actually,
if you watch it, that is.
And then like some of the quests are kind of meh. Like you have to talk to this guy who is standing next to this guy, and he tells you to talk to the guy he's standing next to.
Oh no!
And
that
like
incredibly boring.
There's a handful of those. But there are other things inside of it as well.
But like the combat is good, is what I'm hearing.
The combat's great. I love the combat. I love the characters that do not pertain to the story at all. Because then in this one, there's characters that if you complete certain quests, you can build rapport with them, and so you can like talk to them and get them higher up. And as you do that, they give you more quests. And there's a crap ton of those guys to work on. Then there's a stronghold you can work on improving, and you can like build your own. And it's not like a template stronghold. You can build a physical maze out of vine hedges and like build a farm based off of it and upgrade it as you'd like. And
Oh, you can build.
Cool to me.
You can build a house, huh?
Well,
that's sick.
Garrett.
RuneScape had that.
Yeah, let me tell you about RuneScape. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if anyone here has heard of RuneScape, but it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool underground MMO that most people haven't heard of.
So far, I guess
that game does have a cult following. That much is true. It's just a big cult following.
I don't know if it's worth the price of admission if like just the combat experience is fun, but
Lost Ark is free, you know?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. But one of my worries is
which is concerning because free things usually have some damage to them to make them free. So
I don't know. I mean, so it does have it obviously has a shop aspect where you can spend money and get whatever, but that so far hasn't really been a factor in my experience. I can't see my Steam right now because I'm on my laptop, but I've dropped like 32 hours into the game at this point.
I can check for you.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
Yeah, that's 32 hours is actually not all that bad because I can only assume that some of the people like streamers especially who started playing it on like the day it launched have to have hundreds easily by now. So
I tried to play it on the day it launched, but it actually had some issues launching. It was like
server issues.
Yeah, server issues. It was like 7-hour delay.
Is this the Amazon game or is that a different one?
It is the Amazon game.
Well,
it's played 46 hours.
Okay.
And 112 of clicker heroes.
I don't. Hey.
So actually, like,
isn't a man entitled to his clicker heroes?
Thank you, Garrett.
This is actually kind of like a funny connection though, because it seems like Ryan, like you just like kind of like mindless grinding like idle games, and it sounds like Lost Ark kind of like satisfies that urge.
No.
Yeah. No.
That's fine, dude. I like that stuff sometimes too.
Well, so
I mean, I've played an ungodly amount of Vampire Survivors. In that game, all you do is press WASD.
The problem with that, obviously, is that Vampire Survivors is a game, whereas Clicker Heroes is not.
Idle games are kind of messed up because it is all about.
It's literally the dark pattern and nothing else.
But for the most part, they're not predatory. They just want you to keep playing.
Some of them are.
Some of them can be, yeah.
Mobile, yeah.
And then they'll port the mobile ones over to like Steam and shit. That's a thing, which is really fucked up.
I guess I could see what you say because I mean, like they also have things in Lost Ark called adventure tomes for each area, and then they have collectibles, and there's like, there's these things called Makokoko seeds, and there's a handful
what
of them.
What are they called?
Makokoko. Mokoko. Makoko. Or
Did they go through QA for that?
nope.
Like, what should we name this?
Yeah.
Listen,
They
first
threw
thing
a
that comes to
fucking
mind,
dart at a board.
there's like 10 or so per area, and then some inside smaller areas, which leads to a total of like 1,247
Oh
Makoko
my
seeds that are hidden
God.
in the game.
And
Along
these
with
are
that-
just things that you go and find. Like I'm imagining
they're
like
just-
Korok seeds from Breath of the Wild. How there's
Yeah,
like
so they're-
600 or 800 of those or whatever.
Yeah, they're randomly hidden among the map, and they can be outside of the boundaries of what the map looks like. They can be as
my
plain as
God.
day, sitting next to somebody. So you have to find them. I don't know what you get if you get them, but like over time.
But God damn it, if I'm not finding every single one of those motherfuckers.
You get a Steam achievement if you find them all.
I have 102 at this point, so almost there.
Yeah, only thousands to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
About.
Yeah.
See, I don't have a problem with collectibles like that in games, but usually I like them to do something. You know,
Mhm.
like if you collect them, you actually get something in game, and
You
not
do,
like
Or each
a
thing
pat
is
on the
like a
ass.
unique
something.
like piece of art or like
So-
statue or something.
anything. Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
fucking see, that was my problem with the Assassin's Creed series was feathers.
The
'cause
feathers, yeah.
You get the
Sometimes it
cape.
was cool. Sometimes it was like, oh, you climbed this very specific tower and it had a very unique climbing experience and was challenging or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have one of the games where they just they peppered them everywhere and
Mhm.
it completely lost any meaning they had.
Yeah, they went
originally, so-
over.
I
Was it
think in
Brotherhood
3
where they
they were-
finally went overboard with it? Like
which
I
one?
think
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That was the one that I remember. Like they kind of jumped the shark
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Garrett,
go ahead,
Makoko
Parker.
seeds have
no, I
untapped
was
use.
I was thinking 3 where the feathers really sucked because oh no, it wasn't 3. I'm thinking of the unlock that you get in shit, what's the Egyptian one?
Origins, yeah.
You get like a bath towel if you find them all. It's just like
You
the
get to see
worst
Bayek in his
reward
bath
possible.
towel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's worth it to me.
Some
Ryan-
fan
Ryan-
service.
They do have a use in Lost Ark.
Yeah, they're like at certain tiers you get items, but also
okay.
they give off a pleasant aroma.
Like it comes out of your computer. And
Whenever you
Smell-o-vision.
pick one up,
smells
it
nice and
says
oaky.
whenever you
And I
pick
have
one
an
up, it's,
index,
like,
and I haven't even had an
small.
experience like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So
But, dude, I went to the Lost Ark subreddit, and it's fucking funny, man. Like some of the things on there after playing, it's like, I've slept with 2 presidents. I've collected all 1,200 Makoko seeds.
That's painful. I don't even want to think about that.
oh my
It's
god.
so good.
Well, I have to
Ryan,
admit,
I think it was.
Go ahead, Parker.
I think it was Ryan. I think you and I went and did every single stunt jump in GTA 5 one night.
Nope. No,
I-
that
who was
wasn't
it
me.
with? I thought it was.
Absolutely
I thought it was,
not.
That's
I was
crazy.
talking to Garrett about it, and I was like, it was either Garrett or Ryan, and I was
Is
pretty
it
sure it was
is it
Ryan.
possible you just did that yourself and you made up the second person?
It
in your
is.
head?
It is impossible that I went and did that myself. Like I would
Yeah,
not do
no,
that.
that
alone.
sounds awful. Well, I can
haven't-
guarantee you it wasn't me because if you had asked me to do that, I would have asked if you were all right in the head.
I have not successfully completed a stunt jump in GTA.
A
just
single
because I'm
one?
that
Single
terrible.
one?
Like you can do
Yeah,
those by
some of them I
accident
just do on
sometimes.
accident.
Yeah. You just see a
Maybe one,
shortcut,
but, like,
you go off a little bump, and it's like nice stunt jump. So
I re-downloaded that for the first time in 6 years. It's very strange coming back to that game because
that game's
what happened
6
was like,
oh Jesus.
yeah, it's pretty old now.
Yeah, I remember playing it sophomore year of college. So
But it's like a 100 gig download now. Like I don't even think it was that big when it first released. By
It
any
was
means.
big, but it wasn't that big. I remember it
Yeah.
being like 60 gigabytes, and you needed 120 to install it because it would basically download the whole game and then extract the entire game. So you needed the space for basically 2 copies of the game on your hard drive,
But
which is crazy.
My consensus from like playing it for 2 or 3 hours after all this time was Rockstar has completely and utterly abandoned any attempt to have any authority in their online multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Like there's just people.
well, they abandoned
spawning,
it
like,
5 years
planes and
ago.
shit.
Like
Yeah, but it's weird because it's their fucking cash cow. Like
yeah,
they
people still
make a-
spending money on it.
yeah, they make a ridiculous amount of money on people spending for like the in-game currency. So I figured they would at least try, but like almost every server we went to, there was like somebody like spawning in jumbo jets like in the middle of town. It was fucking stupid. But
Can't you play in like a
nice.
closed like server, or is that not possible?
You can, but you can't do open world missions
that's
in
bullshit.
a closed server.
Really?
But what you can do is disconnect your internet for 4 seconds and then reconnect it, and then it will kick you to a server by yourself, and you'll be alone for like an hour before anyone else starts playing.
Oh, that game is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Like our group of friends, and I don't think it's really like anyone here, but our group of friends like at large really likes playing GTA Online, and I've never liked GTA Online, not even when it released. I just think like we used to just play the GTA 4 online multiplayer, which was basically just like run around with your friends and just do random crap like in the open world. And I had a lot of fun with that. My big problem with GTA Online is that you have to just like, you have to grind to do anything basically. Like all there is just grind basically.
There's like the big heists that pay a lot, like everyone just calculates like the most money per hour that you can get by replaying a certain like heist over and over and over again, and it's just
it does not sound
pretty
fun at all.
awful. Like we did the same heist 3 times, and at that point I was thinking, I don't think I could do this more.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to hop on to try a new heist, you have to put down like a $2.5 million investment, and then you play the heist once and get like 500K, and it's like, oh, so to get my money back, I have to go do this 5 times in a row now. Like, I don't want to do that.
Meanwhile,
that's yeah.
Meanwhile, in Phasmophobia, you'll go like hunt an entire ass revenant, and they'll be like, "I can give you about 350."
350. No. Sorry.
I'm sorry about your 3 dead friends.
Yeah.
You didn't find the bones, so it's really just 200. Sorry.
Yeah,
We found the bone
And
later,
you got
like,
the ghost
after we
wrong,
left,
but nice job getting it to step in salt.
Yeah.
Here's $25.
But yeah, to what you were saying, Ryan, I will say your description of Lost Ark did not exactly sell me on the game, but I do kind of get it. I get it now, like why people like that game. It just sounds like it's addicting.
It's addicting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of side things to do, and like there's like daily things you can do, and there's also things that you can do with friends. So like my goal is to play the game with Patrick, and then Alex actually just started today.
I literally
and
just
Max
saw him up
planned
on that.
starting. Yeah. And so Alex is asking me what class should I be, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like you choose.
I don't give a
That's the
shit.
thing. Like the multiplayer aspect is so fucking important. I usually figure at least this is my own personal metric. If the only way for me to like really enjoy a game requires me to play it with friends, that tells me that the game might be suffering from something. I'm not entirely sure what, but
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't have any active motivation to play like single player, you know?
It doesn't limit me from wanting to play it alone, right?
Okay.
Like I go in it and I'm like, I kind of want to just focus on this task. So I'll do that, and that's it. And then my friend will jump on, he goes, "You want to do this?" And I'll go, "Yeah, sure. We'll go take care of a raid or something like that. Take care of whatever." And that's kind of nice. I will say, a huge major flaw is that you can't do some of the major multiplayer stuff until after level 50.
Oh my god.
then-
Well, I guess I don't know how fast you level, but that sounds high.
I just turned level 50,
Yeah, games that
and I've played 46 hours.
Games that lock multiplayer content behind like a single player experience for a really, really long time is such a garbage game design choice. I prefer games to give you a multiplayer option almost like immediately right out the gate, because that might be one of the reasons why somebody buys a game, right? They think there's a multiplayer experience involved, and then you get on with some friends and they're like, "Oh, did you do the prologue? What? There's a prologue? Yeah, it's the prologue. It takes like 5 hours."
Even a 10-minute tutorial can be pretty annoying if you're all trying to hop onto a game together.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like part of that is like proper explanation, especially if you've played the game and other people haven't. Like, hey, we should play this game. By the way, there's a 10-minute tutorial prior. Maybe play that beforehand.
I'd take a 10-minute tutorial over a 50-level gate. Like,
Yeah.
Well, so you can still do multiplayer in that.
I mean, it's an MMO. I would hope so.
Yeah. So I joined up in a party with a couple of people, and we just went and killed things. We went through the missions really fast. But in order to contribute to the guild that we created, I had to be level 50, and I had to complete a certain amount of tasks in this certain area. And so once I reached level 49, I was like, I'm going straight there because I reached a level 50 as I was doing these tasks. So then immediately I was able to contribute and not be a hindrance.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, MMOs have just been so far from my mind for such a long time. I'm just not interested in it at all.
What was the other one that people were really into on Twitch? Was it
New
Final
World
Fantasy one?
Well, there was Final Fantasy 14 or whatever. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and then did New World come out, and they were saying, was that supposed to be the next big MMO?
Yeah, well, and that was an Amazon one too. Although that one I think,
flopped, didn't it?
Yeah, beyond the initial Twitch hype, it feels like most people kind of decided it wasn't very good.
Okay, maybe because the initial streamers advertising it was a complete and total fabrication of.
I will give it to that game that it looked nice. It's rare that you see an MMO that has kind of a cool aesthetic, whereas most of them look like Lost Ark, which is pretty rudimentary, and not that the game necessarily looks bad, but it just it's just more of a style that I associate with an MMO. Yeah.
Sure.
It's like what they did to Elder Scrolls Online. It was like Skyrim graphics but cartoony. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
it was
off.
a cartoon style? I didn't know that.
It's stylized, not like cartoon, but it's very. There's no grit to it. I feel like it's always very bright and I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they still working on that?
I think so.
Are they still adding stuff? I don't know. Is Elder Scrolls Online one of those games where they're trying to add every section?
They are. Yeah. That. Because I don't think they're adding the entire region for every whatever the fuck they're called, every nation in the empire, but every region or whatever. But they're adding at least parts of every region. That much I know. It always looks cool. It's oh yeah, it would be cool to explore elsewhere, which I've never been to in any game. But also at the same time, I don't want to play Elder Scrolls Online to do so.
No. It's kind of a shame because it's I just want Skyrim co-op. I don't want an MMO because it kind of just ruins everything.
I'm okay with Bethesda never doing co-op, but as long as it means that the single player experiences are at Fallout 4 quality or better. I'll put it that way.
There was a multiplayer mod for Skyrim, but it was it was really bad.
It was really bad.
I haven't checked. Although keep in mind, I haven't checked the progress of that since 2015 or whenever I originally saw that. So I don't know if it became abandonware or they actually continue working on it.
The last time I saw it, it made it so that each player had their own instances affect them, but none of the other players.
Oh,
so one
that sounds
person
about
would
right.
So one person would run into the Ebony Knight, and then nobody else could help them out because they didn't see this.
So I think the mod has developed from there. But the problem is that the whole development of that mod was kind of marred in drama too. I don't know if you guys know about that, but
no.
the guys who made that mod they were charging money to access it on their Patreon and stuff like that. It was just weird.
God came down from the heavens and kicked them in the balls.
No, I don't think Bethesda did anything about it, but they just were acting really weird and shady about it. When people
please, we're turning this into an NFT.
The General Sam video where he played Skyrim co-op made it look like it was working pretty well, and when I went into their webpage to check it out myself, it didn't even look like it was as up to date as what was in that video. So that was just confusing.
Well,
I guess I
and
could look at
another
it
thing
now,
too
but-
is that there are multiple people trying to do like the online thing, and I think the best one is the one that you have to like pay for on Patreon or whatever to get it. Of course.
Okay.
But
Maybe after the next iteration of Skyrim anniversary edition comes out, we'll have a fully working co-op mode.
well, before we get into Elden Ring, which, by the way, congratulations, guys. We made it 30 minutes into this without talking about Elden Ring somehow. I do want to talk about.
I keep thinking about it the whole time.
I just
it's
noticed
in my head.
Ryan's like frozen, but I do see a sleepy dog.
We have
anyways.
some powerful temperance here.
I do want to talk about this. Here, wait. I'll send this before I switch the screen over in the podcast channel so you guys can see it. This is Gabe Newell hand delivering Steam Decks to people in the Seattle area.
What the fuck?
I saw that this week and I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, so the Steam Deck is a thing. I don't know how interested anyone here is in that. I mean, arguably, like, we're kind of in like the perfect demographic for the Steam Link. Like I've kind of thought about it, and I'm like, I would like to have one, but I also don't like really want to invest $400 in that like right now. I'm sorry, the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Steam Link's a hockey puck that you.
Yeah, I have that. I actually have that. I got it for $5 or some shit.
I almost pulled the trigger, but at the same time,
it's fine. It's going to be about as good as your internet connection is, which for most people is not good enough to like stream games. But I have gigabit internet wired, so it works fine for me.
You could just buy Stadia, bro. Like, why would you need to stream to your own internet? That's stupid.
Are you telling me I can play Elden Ring in bed now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
that apparently Elden Ring. I was wondering about this actually. I was like, they're using Elden Ring for a lot of their like marketing material, and I was like, there's no way Elden Ring runs on that thing.
No.
Apparently on like, I think it's like medium settings in like whatever resolution the screen is on there, which is like below 1080p. Apparently it runs fine. But even that is kind of kind of impressive, because Elden Ring honestly doesn't run great on most PCs at this point. So
no, and
it's funny too, because by looking at Elden Ring, I would, like, without knowing that there's technical issues with some people, it's not very high like graphic fidelity. It kind of looks like it was made in like 2015. I'm not trying to shit on it out of the gate. Now that we're like kind of brought it up, but it doesn't look like a 2020 game. Like, or
yeah,
it looks a little aged. But it's
well,
beautiful.
I think at this point I can officially open the floodgates and we can just go into the Elden Ring discussion.
Please, I need more time.
I'll be back.
Oh my god. But yeah, I kind of agree on one hand that like the game sort of lacks like all the effects and shaders and shit and like of modern games, but it also does just look really good. Like I don't know, it's like of course I'm coming from like my only current Souls experience being Dark Souls 1, which even the remaster, like I'm sorry, but it doesn't look that good. Like no. Dark Souls is almost like it's almost like an intentionally ugly game. Like it's very kind of like gray and brown and decrepit. But
I feel like that's kind of the thing, and you can see that through the other Dark Souls games as well. Like the first.
I mean,
one
I think Dark Souls 3 is beautiful from what I've seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's like partly because of the development, partly because of the theming of everything kind of coming together. I will say it's kind of tough because Sekiro was a beautiful game. Like it was like the beautiful contrasting colors and stuff like that. The setting was great. Like Japanese folklore is amazing.
Yeah, I really want to play it.
So naturally you're going to get like your your cherry blossom petals at times and the large spurts of blood, beautiful.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the blood.
Yeah,
the two beautiful things, cherry
blood.
blossoms and blood.
The engorged, decapitated bodies that proceed to whip you with their hair. Just
the third
so
beautiful
beautiful
thing. Yeah.
just a gorgeous game all around in every way.
Yeah.
Pulling out centipedes from people's bodies. Beautiful.
But unironically, that game does look very good, and I feel like they
Yes.
like Elden Ring is definitely a different style. A lot of people are like, it's just Dark Souls, but it is still kind of like a different style from Dark Souls too. It's more of like it's got like the old kind of English style versus like the Gothic style that Dark Souls has, which I guess is kind of like
more Gothic areas, but
yeah,
the general setting is more English for sure.
As we go
I'll
into
say that
this discussion real quick, I'm curious like what everyone's like experience with Souls games is, because I've probably got the least, having played only like partway through Dark Souls 1, the weird Bloodborne PSX demake, and now Elden Ring. So that's like my only experience. But I have like watched a bunch of the other games. Like I've been passively interested in them for a long time, but Elden Ring is the first game that I'm just like jumping into like head first with like no prior knowledge or anything. So, yeah, we might as well just go around. Ryan, what about you?
He's the Soulsiest.
I think so.
Yeah, I would think so too. I have actually not beaten Dark Souls 1.
What?
But I've
Wait, speak to that.
I know.
Speak to that. I'm curious. Why not?
Leave this
He got
podcast
stuck
right
on
now.
Capra Demon. He got stuck on Capra Demon.
So when I played Dark Souls, it was around the time when Xbox was doing that stupid Xbox Link thing to Steam.
Oh.
So I like there was a glitch going on with my game where I just couldn't log in to Dark Souls. So I would try that multiple times, and then suddenly Dark Souls 2 came out, and that didn't have it. So I started playing Dark Souls 2.
Was this Windows Live?
Yeah, it was Windows Live.
No.
Yeah. Okay,
Fuck
that's right.
that.
You couldn't
Yeah,
play.
I remember that
they
shit.
put that on Fallout 3 too. That
Mhm.
was a piece of fucking shit. God damn.
And so by the time that it became a non-issue, I just was invested in other games. So I never went back and fully completed it. I think I went back once.
How far did
try
you
to complete
get?
it.
Like, out of curiosity.
I stubbornly went through stupid shit. Like
Like stuff you were way under leveled for?
Yeah, so like I went down, that ghost area underneath the
Wait,
New Londo ruins?
No, underneath the shrine.
I know what you're talking about, and I went there pretty late in my playthrough. So if you
Wait, is it like
didn't finish and did that, like
I haven't been
I
everywhere,
didn't
so
finish that area. Yeah. So there's this area that has ghosts, and
it's New Londo.
It's terrible to go through.
Yeah.
And
you know
then
what? I was thinking of the area that's
Cavern.
like below that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I honestly didn't make it super far.
Well, that's farther than I've been, at least. So.
It might
No,
not be.
I think he spawned. Went to
Oh,
New Londo
I
ruins,
see. You
died,
went
and-
there before you were supposed to go there.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I did. I did kill the
Gotcha.
bell gargoyles. I made it
that's super early. That's probably like the second boss. Like
Yeah, it
killed
is
the
the
Capra
second
demon.
boss.
I killed the
Third, I guess, if you count
Hydra.
Asylum Demon.
Oh, the Hydra in the forest, right?
The Hydra in the forest.
Oh yeah. I noped out of that.
Wait, Nick,
Honestly,
what's in
it's been
between
so
the
long that
Asylum
I wouldn't even know.
demon and the gargoyles?
Taurus
I don't
demon.
remember. Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
on the
big
bridge.
boy
On the bridge,
climb
yeah.
ladder to hedge stomp.
Or you just make
Honestly-
him fall off the edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I like plunging attacked him 3 times. That was how I killed him. But I still had no fucking clue what I was doing. I didn't even know what didn't even know what iframes were or anything. I was like, I just need to run away from this guy and climb the ladder.
I think I went back to the starting area and tried to fight the other demon, and was tough because I didn't know what I was doing. And then the Xbox Live thing hit, and I was like, well, giving up on
It's
this.
over.
Yep. And then I
Time to
proceeded
shelve
to
my $60 game.
yeah. Then I proceeded to get Dark Souls 2 and
Big mistake.
kill all the
kiddo.
bosses in that.
I can't believe that was your not only your introduction, but then
you were like, I
It
need
was-
more of this. I'm just kidding. I can't even shit on Dark Souls 2 because I haven't played it, but
It's
Every video I've seen
like
of it
it.
is like
I don't know.
it's like everything because that doesn't have healing that replenishes at bonfires, right? It's like not Dark Souls. It's like
So
Demon
it
Souls.
it does have Estus flasks, but the
Okay.
addition of life stones breaks that game because you can buy 99 of them and it's a slow heal consumable.
Oh.
And Estus flasks is really slow but really fast heal. So if you can get away, you can crush 2 life stones and you get as much health as you do from 1 Estus flask.
It completely negates any of the like the precious nature of having an Estus flask in the first place, because you're supposed to be really careful with using the Estus. But if you have a consumable where you can just immediately heal with something that doesn't,
and you can just go get more as soon as the fight's over. Like
yeah. So that aspect is not great, but I mean, like any other multiplayer experience for Dark Souls, I'm having a lot of fun. Me and Ryan were playing it, and we shelved it as soon as the server stuff went down.
Oh yeah.
So, but so far, my experience has been overall positive. I actually really like that game.
I want to say part of that
what
reason
a lot of
is
people
the
say.
multiplayer. Like playing that
Yes,
with another person
I don't
has
think
enhanced that game incredibly for me.
I don't think if I play that game on my own, I would have to be I would have to push through some areas, because some of the areas are went through development hell, and it's obvious that they either weren't finished or they had different plans and they had to like cut a bunch of content.
Yeah.
So they like
Garrett.
what's the place with it's like a big cave and there was like a bunch of
the wharf, No Man's Wharf, right?
Was it
with
No Man's Wharf?
the dark light, and then
Yeah,
there was the big boat that we went on, and we fought the
we had to
Flexile
jump
Sentry.
from like a hut to another hut that were like suspended on these sticks. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but
yeah, I think that's No Man's Wharf.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So some of the areas were pretty shitty even with multiplayer, but I'm still happy we're playing it, because you kind of get a full Dark Souls experience.
One of my favorite moments in that game is we were at the area before the Duke's Deer Freya, and you were talking to me and you were asking me, Ryan, what's your favorite haunted mansion movie?
Oh yeah, no, I guess
you look like an Eddie Murphy fan.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing, I'm like, Garrett, Garrett, please help. Garrett, please help. As I'm getting mauled by spiders, and he's just like, yeah, Eddie Murphy seems like you. I'm like, help me, Garrett, please.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
God.
I gaslit Ryan into thinking
Great
he
time.
told me about his obsession with the Haunted Mansion DVD set.
I feel like I heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Garrett told me all about the time that he convinced Ryan that he'd.
What
that was
the hell,
a good
man?
it was a good night.
That's a good bit. That was a good night. Yeah.
So, just out of curiosity, with Dark Souls 2, like, do you guys just like summon each other, or like, is there actual like proper co-op?
Yeah,
it's just. Oh, if you want to say it, sorry.
No, after you, Garrett. No.
I was just gonna mention, it's the same thing with almost every Dark Souls game. Like you have summoning signs.
I kind of figured.
Yeah,
It's
if you're in the same area,
Yeah.
you just summon somebody. It's very similar to Elden Ring's. Like, you know how there's 2 systems for co-op. One of them's supposed to be like you put down a summoning sign and have somebody show up.
Yeah.
Elden Rings is just a little bit awkward because it's an open world. Like it no longer, you can't be like, all right, we're in the next area now, put down a summoning sign. Because with Elden Ring, it's like you can go any fucking direction. So
Yeah.
it screws it up a bit.
At least there's the summoning pools, which makes it a little easier. But yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Dark Souls 2 also had 2 ways, like 2 forms of summoning somebody. It had a normal summon sign, and then it had a tiny summon sign. And the tiny summon sign put you on a time limit.
Yeah,
like you could only be in the game for like 15 minutes or something
bullshit.
like that.
Oh,
yeah,
weird.
I hated that game mechanic.
And then it sent you back.
Because
it was dumb.
Because it's something you do within like the first hour of the game, and then you get the normal summoning stone, and it's like, why even have that mechanic in the first place if you're only going to use it for like this very small period of time? I don't know. It felt like an idea that sounded really good on paper, and then when it was implemented, it isn't that good. But
And Dark Souls 2 has a stupid thing. Like normally you're based off of level in Dark Souls games on how to be summoned, but this did soul memory, which is it memorized how much souls you gained
Oh,
and
what
there
the
was a
fuck?
specific statistic, and you could only be summoned by people within that certain range. So if you had never leveled up your character, but did a soul level 1 and made your way through the game and went to New Game Plus, you could not play with somebody who
So
had not done that.
if you
Weird.
sucked and kept dying and losing your souls,
Mhm.
you were put. Okay, what a
Mhm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
wow. That's
Yep. So you
That's
could not
fucking
summon your
horrible.
friend. You could not summon your friend to help you because your soul memory is too high. So
That's really weird.
that's
um
painful. That's
it was
Yeah.
like if you're
they
really struggling with the game and you
well
want
so
help, like that's the opposite thing that you want.
well I understand the reason behind it too, because it's like they were trying to stop people from just rushing through the game, getting without being high leveled, only leveling up as needed, getting
And
end
then
level game
boosting low
gear,
level, like
and then
yeah.
more of being invading other people and killing them before they could get into that situation.
Sure,
That's
Because
but
you can't
it's
invade
a good
with
intent, but you need a different metric for that. Like
yeah, and
it's
absolutely.
you're gonna have
yeah.
those kinds
Absolutely.
of people regardless. Like
Yeah, it's kind
people are
of
gonna find a
weird.
way. So
Whenever I got invaded in
Oh.
Dark Souls or when I played with Ryan in Dark Souls 3, every time we got invaded, it was like, wait, this guy's the same level as me? Where did he get all this shit? What the hell is happening? Like
Yeah.
did you
That
guys
being
both
said,
finish 3?
No,
I
actually, and I
finished
was gonna
3.
mention that because I like how the initial question this was Ryan, what's your experience with
Yeah,
Dark
Well,
that's what I'm
Souls?
asking.
at
Yeah.
this point, I think everyone has chimed in
Yeah.
enough that we kind of get it.
Yeah.
But
But so for me though, I've played I played through Dark Souls. I thought it was I mean, it's kind of funny because like I knew people really liked the game and I played through it and I was like, oh well, the first bit was really good and I feel like it dropped off, but apparently that's the general consensus of the game is that it
of
drops
Dark
off a
Souls
bit.
1,
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, I've had ups and downs from like the beginning to an Orlando, which I just finished. And I thought, other than the one like part with the archers on the fucking buttress, I thought an Orlando was really fun.
Yeah, I want to say post and Orlando is when
Okay.
it's kinds of yeah. It's not so much that like it becomes bad, just that it feels rushed and like all of a sudden you're like it moves very quickly in kind of an awkward way.
Yeah, but
But
the worst part of the game
DLC
for me so far was Undead Parish and the Capra Demon. I straight up just wanted to quit. Like that was not fun at all to me. I just straight up wanted to quit the game.
A really fun
Um,
fight that I hope you get to experience in that game is in one of the DLCs where you fight a guy named I think Artorias.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
he's got a big great
Artorias.
source. Yeah, I love that.
Do you
fight.
realize how fucking little that narrows it down in Dark Souls?
Oh yeah,
the guy
I know,
with the big
I
great
know.
sword.
I'm aware,
Nick.
but like it's a really fun fight, and I hope you get to.
Yeah,
experience it
I'll
at some
definitely
point.
play I've actually heard the DLC for the first Dark Souls is really good. So
Yes,
Nick,
I
it's
liked it.
Artorias from Astorius.
Oh no, I did play
Duh.
that. I forgot that I played that.
Yeah, it's I keep forgetting like how like it's easy to forget because it's got this really weird convoluted way of getting to the DLC, and I think that's one thing that I've never really liked about Souls games is when they add downloadable content or like later expansions or whatever, they have like some weird obtuse way of getting to it.
Yeah. So well,
More
not
so
like
with
I
other
had
games like Bloodborne doesn't have that issue because
I
they just straight up give you the item to do it. So
Great game.
I
Well,
I beat
the problem.
Dark Souls. I beat the Dark Souls main game before I went and did the DLC. And while doing the DLC, I found out that things you do during the DLC affects like the main story in some ways. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even know I was supposed to come here. I just like I beat the game and then I was like, all right, cool. Like, what now? To
Yeah.
go do the DLC. Like, it's kind of how a lot of games are. So I don't know.
yeah, well at the very least the game kind of encourages you to like replay the story multiple times. So if you miss something that or screwed something up, the general idea is like you can always go back on your
Yeah.
second playthrough. But I think a lot of people just want to play the game once and be done with it though. They don't like the new game plus aspect.
I
But
think I can
sometimes
see
you
myself
get cool
replaying
items, though.
Elden Ring. I'm
that's where
enjoying
I'm
it
at
a
too.
lot more than I like Dark Souls. I thought I liked Dark Souls 3. I didn't beat it because at the time I was getting really frustrated.
Uh-huh.
Elden Ring, even when I fight a boss for like 5 hours, I I want to keep going. So I don't know, something about it. Like,
yeah. So I mean, I
Ryan,
guess.
do you want to finish Dark Souls 3 with me at some point?
Yes, I will finish Dark Souls 3 with you.
Sorry, Nick.
Wait. Well, no, this is fine. This is fine. I was just gonna ask, what should I play next? Like once I beat Dark Souls. Bloodborne. See the problem, and I know Garrett, you offered me to borrow your PlayStation, which I might take you up on. I was kind of holding out for a Bloodborne like remastered or PC port or something. But if that's not going to happen, I do really want to play Bloodborne, so I probably will take you up on that because otherwise I have no way to play it.
30 FPS glory.
Right. Bloodborne is not going to get a PC mastering or any PC
I'm
port
so sad
because
about that.
because of PlayStation contracts, because it was a PlayStation exclusive.
It's totally a PlayStation thing.
Stupid.
Like, it sucks though. I want to play it so bad, but I'm not buying a fucking PlayStation.
I actually think as well that my
PS4 after Nick uses
yeah. Well, you might be able to borrow it first because I still got to finish Dark Souls and Elden Ring first before I move on.
If Nick
to
finishes
Bloodborne.
and Garrett's okay with me taking his PlayStation to another state, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's a factor.
I don't own a TV.
Parker,
I'll figure that out.
I will let you borrow my PlayStation because it has Bloodborne on it.
I'll borrow both of them and I'll beat it twice.
No, one. You only get one.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Nick, Sekiro. It's kind of a little different from it like has elements of the Dark Souls experience, but it focuses a lot more on timing, like parrying attacks instead of rolling.
I have heard that parrying in Sekiro is a lot easier than it is in Dark
It
Souls.
is.
It's hard in Dark Souls.
I like parrying in Dark Souls. I actually enjoy it.
It feels so good, but it's almost never worth it for me because I'll get hit 7 times just so I can get one parry.
I agree.
I'm not very good. I'm not good. So
I agree with Ryan. Probably Sekiro would be like a good next one, but 3 is also like a really good one to jump into.
I might go to 3 just because like it's gonna probably be the most familiar to me after Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring. Although in Elden Ring, I've actually been thinking I might enjoy Sekiro because I've been playing like a samurai class and I feel like it plays a lot like that game. So
I'm a little worried that Elden Ring is going to spoil me a little bit, and then when me and Ryan try to go back to Dark Souls 2, it's gonna be like,
it's gonna be like, God,
well,
why did I do this? Why you want to go just do multiplayer?
So I'm actually playing Dark Souls on stream tomorrow, and I'm very worried about that myself. But we'll see how it goes. I feel like in another way too, though, it's just giving me like more Souls experience too. So like even though it'll be like a little bit like more janky when I go back to Dark Souls, like at least I'll have like the experience also from Elden Ring, which translates over to a certain extent.
It's still the core experience of like certain combat scenarios and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, do we just want to
habit of like
go ahead,
using
Garrett.
the same? Sorry, From has a habit of using like the same boss types or boss attacks across multiple games. Every once in a while, I'll see remnants of like the original Dark Souls and Elden Ring fighting certain monsters or whatever, or like the skeletons and their attacks are essentially the same animations as far as I'm concerned.
Crabs are easy now though. What the hell did they do to the crabs?
Except when they pick you up and then just proceed to stomp
you guys haven't probably fought the crabs that are underground. They're red and mean. Have you fought a poison crab?
No.
Wait, okay. Before
the crimson
before we get into specifics about Elden Ring, I'm gonna close the discussion on our Souls experience. I think that so
that's my experience.
Yeah, as branching as that was, I'm like
thing we were gonna talk about the whole time. So.
I guess so the next thing that I want to go to from there is like how do you guys feel that it compares to other Souls games? Because for me, only being able to really compare it to Dark Souls, I find that it's a lot more like agreeable to me because I have trouble with some of just like the jank of Dark Souls, like the hitboxes and like and sort of the just like intentionally obtuse mechanics. Like I find that it makes the game less fun for me, even though I do like overall enjoy like the bosses and like the design of the levels and stuff. But Elden Ring just feels like really tight. Like the hitboxes are like perfect, and you have a lot of options in combat, and you have a lot of options in in what you can go do, which is nice too, because if you get stuck on something, you can just leave and then come back and do it later. Although I did fight a boss for like 5 hours. So
I fought the
That's
Impaler
experience,
Catacomb
man.
boss for probably 3 hours, and that was just like a little side dungeon thing. So yeah,
That's the experience. That's
It's
the
the
Dark Souls.
closest to me for.
I was malding fucking hard.
It reminds me of Sekiro the most because that was the most. I think that's the most recent title from before Elden Ring, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot
is.
of mechanics that they perfect, or I wouldn't say perfected, but they were getting closer. They refined a lot of things in Sekiro, and then they brought that over into Elden Ring, specifically with like navigating with being able to jump and
jumping attacks are so fucking fun.
yeah, that's something that you don't really. I mean, you get it to some extent in Dark Souls 3 and the other games, but it's very, very different now.
I do like
with
the
Elden Ring, so.
stance breaking too, which I know came from Sekiro. You don't have
Yeah.
like the meter that shows you like when you're gonna break their stance, but it's not it. It feels like you have options like with a bunch of different play styles, like in order to get past enemies that have like really ridiculous combos and stuff. Like it doesn't feel like completely hopeless if you can't like get the dodge timing or you can't parry them or whatever, because you have like guard countering and jumping attacks and all that stuff that can help you get through those encounters.
Yeah, guard countering is a really unique thing that they added.
Yeah, it's kind of like
you just kind of took it on the chin and you go, okay, I didn't die.
You either block or you parry. But guard countering is like a good middle ground where like you can get like a little damage boost. You can work towards breaking their stance, and you can block a little bit of damage. But it doesn't interrupt their animation like parrying does, so it's still like kind of high risk. But I think it's super cool. I think it's a really welcome addition to the game.
It feels really natural, like
yeah, right.
As opposed to like, why am I beating on this wall?
And the sound when you hit a guard counter is like it's like the dopamine that you get from parrying in Dark Souls games, only you can do it all the time because guard countering is way easier.
Have you guys fought any of the like really big Colossus guys? There's
only
one at the
just one.
Okay,
at Castle Morn, yeah.
There's one that I'm fighting at a place that I got teleported to, which might kind of be going into spoiler territory, so I won't go into it too much. And I've been fighting him for a while. I was fighting him before the stream. But like every time I break his stance and he like falls down, it's just the greatest feeling. I still haven't beat him, so it hasn't been that great of a feeling.
But yeah,
one time he fell over and sunk into the ground, and I couldn't get the whatever it's called, like the critical hit on him. That made me. That was like 3 days worth of bad news.
There's every now and then, like even though Elden Ring is like kind of a much like tighter experience, like mechanically than Dark Souls for me at least. There's every now and then, and I'm like, yeah, this is still like something like that happens, and I'm like, yeah, this is still basically just a Dark Souls game.
Oh, I have to show you. I have to show you something very interesting that happened to me the other day in this game. Like as much as I enjoy it, there is a little bit of jank here and there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I clipped into the wall a couple times now.
Oh really? That has not happened to me.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, how'd you pull that off? I've never done that.
Parker, that's something that's happened. Like we were trying to multiplayer last night, and then Garrett emoted, right? And that's what happened?
that was a disconnect issue. Wait, what are you talking about?
Are you talking about when you tried to heal me and instead you deleted me from your world?
Yeah.
This is a small little issue there.
Ryan threw down a heal spell like for the group, and the moment he threw it down, both him and Garrett just disappeared, and I thought that he had teleported them, and I found out I just lost connection.
The timing was impeccable on that.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the time when we were running down after that giant chariot thing, and I died, and then I had to run all the way back, and then suddenly I hear Oh no, I'm stuck.
Oh, no. That was me being an idiot. Make no mistake, that is not From's fault.
Okay.
Some of the gestures you can do in the game, you can't cancel. So we were playing chicken with this chariot, this automated chariot that like moves back and forth and can instant kill you. And if you don't get out of the way, you just die. And I was an idiot, and I was like, I'm going to taunt it with a gesture. I couldn't cancel the gesture. So
no.
Yeah, I did
That's
it.
hilarious.
So I did it first, like right before him. It's the sign or the gesture that you get. Like I think the first time that you help somebody in multiplayer beat a boss, it's like you hold your hands up and do this, and you'll hold it until you cancel it, but you can't cancel it until you've reached like the full gesture. So I did it first and then dove out of the way like right before the thing came down. And then Garrett does a different gesture that's similar where you like hold your hands up, and he didn't finish getting to the apex of the gesture, so he couldn't cancel it at all. There's nothing he could
it was
do.
just mass panic as
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
was heading towards me.
I can't stop it. I can't stop it.
It's kind of like being on like a train track and realizing like you're paralyzed. It's like,
Yeah,
oh no.
it
But
was
it's like
sleep
something that would happen in a
paralysis.
dream. Yeah, sleep paralysis,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That-
mean, like the game definitely isn't like free of jank, but I just find the jank getting in the way of the experience a lot less than in Dark Souls 1, at least like
Yes,
from my personal
yeah.
experience.
The
I just
It's
train-
so much smoother. Like
Yeah.
just
yeah,
in
the
general.
hitboxes are like impeccable. I'm never like, oh, I can't believe that hit me, or I can't believe that didn't hit my enemy.
I
Like,
do think iframes are more generous than they have been in like Dark Souls. I'm dodging through attacks that really surprise me.
yeah, I've been
But
thinking
maybe
the
I'm just
same,
better
but I
because I've
can't
played some.
I
so.
can't tell if the iframes are more
Maybe you're just
generous
good.
or if it's just harder to get kind of like swiped mid roll because the hitboxes are so precise. Because that might be the case as well.
I've dodged straight through many attacks. Like the axe will go right through my guy, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I dodged that. But you are right. Like just the hit detection, everything overall is really really good.
Yeah.
I think it's like even tough fights. I think the reason I'm willing to take them on for more attempts than I would in previous games is because usually when I die, I'm like, well, I fucked up. Instead of being like, how the hell did he just hit me? I was 10 feet away from his weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, drugged dog.
Yeah, but
She is so.
she
like,
got neutered,
groggy.
by the way. She's not. Ryan
Yeah.
didn't just drug
No.
her for fun.
Yeah. Although when he
got-
hopped in the call, he said,
He said, "I'm trying to see how many acid tabs she can
eat."
eat." No, I'm just kidding.
That is not what I said. I
You-
said
you said
Shay is
something that
drugged
sounded
up on the
pretty bad.
couch.
She
Oh,
never
so
had balls.
just
She
as
was
bad.
spayed. Wait, did I say neutered?
Yeah, you said neutered.
Oh, my bad. Wow, thanks for correcting me, Britta. That was a very important distinction.
I mean, you did say she was neutered.
Fuck you.
Lot
Shut
of
up.
confusion.
Um, but yeah, I guess like another obviously big thing about this game is just the open world, and yeah, I mean, I like that. I think for me is what, and I say this as if like I really hate Dark Souls. I don't. I have some complaints about the game, and it's not like perfect to me, but I do overall like enjoy the world and most of the fights and encounters and stuff. But I just find like little things getting in the way of like me enjoying it to its fullest. But I do think that for me, like the biggest thing missing from the equation was just like more paths, more options, and like, yeah, I guess like an open world, because that's kind of what elevated this game to the next level for me. I don't know,
Sure.
but how do you guys feel about that?
That's it. Somebody actually mentioned that in chat.
Yeah,
Super
I
Jesus
saw
did,
that.
and I responded, and that was like one of the really big things for me is there's 1,000 things you can go and do if you're struggling with a boss, as opposed to going and fighting the other boss that you couldn't beat on the
Yeah.
other path. Like, I think it does feel generally easier in a lot of places, but like at Castle Morn fighting the I don't know what they're even called, like the graft enemies there, like it's tough. It's a
Mm,
Souls-like experience. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of good variety and like difficulty depending on what you're up for. If you want to explore, it's actually pretty chill. But if you
Yeah.
want to go have a tough fight, head into a catacomb. So
and there's enough that you can go do that you can get strong enough that then if you leave something and come back to it, like you'll be probably at least like better able to take it on. And in Dark Souls, it's like there's no worse feeling than like getting to like a big difficulty spike and having to like literally walk away to go back to somewhere that you've already been and fight enemies that you've already fought to like go grind souls. Like I don't, that is probably like the thing that I enjoy the least. And so for me in that game, it's like, it's frustrating. Like, yeah, it's frustrating to get stuck on a boss, but I'd rather just throw myself at the boss and like beat it than I would to like go walk away and do something that I don't want to do. But in this game, I don't feel so bad about it because there's like so many different things I can go do if I want to.
The closest thing I've done to grinding souls is when I'm like 100 souls away, so I go and kill a couple things. And
yeah, exactly.
If I'm not about to level up, I'll just go do a whole ass new thing.
Yeah,
like it's great, and it's weird because I feel like I'm praising it for something that pretty much every RPG has. But I don't know, in like a Souls-like setting, it feels really
It benefits the game, yeah. Like an
yeah.
already really tight like combat control, adding this feature to it and not ruining it is really nice.
Well, and
even with easy enemies, you're at the risk of getting fucked up if you become complacent.
Yeah,
so,
every enemy can kill you. I mean, that I have, that much I knew before I played Dark Souls. Like even the ones that are easy that you can one shot, if you mess up, they can kill you. Like it just, even when you're at the highest level, it's like it happens. But yeah, and the other thing that helps too is like obviously you could you could have basically like a linear Dark Souls progression and tack an open world onto it, but they didn't do that. They made like one of the most like impressive and dense open worlds that I've ever seen in a game, honestly. Like they made it with
variety,
they made it with the quality of a Dark Souls game, like in an open world. And I just like, I can't believe it. Honestly, it's like, it's insane. And there's so many little things that like some people in their playthrough probably will never see. There's just so much stuff. I mean, and if you look closely enough, like you start to see the seams a little bit. Like when you find those like shacks out in like the woods, like those shacks are kind of like, they're like a tile set. They're copied and pasted, you know, the ruins dungeons are tile sets like Bethesda dungeons are, but they do it really smartly in a way that like every experience still feels unique. Like even if it's just populated with different enemies or a different boss or like it still feels worthwhile. And per usual, another pitfall that like big open world games like this get into is the like overpopulating the world too. Like Breath of the Wild was really good at not doing that because like they wanted the world to feel kind of desolate and almost like post-apocalyptic, and so the world is just like really empty, but it's empty in like a good way. And this world is not empty, but it doesn't it doesn't feel overwhelming either. Like because Skyrim at times is like when you can walk like 5 minutes and be in like a different city, it's kind of like, all right, am I supposed to believe that I'm really out in the middle of the tundra? Because I can see
every 30 seconds on the way there, the battle music starts and a wolf or bandit attacks you.
Yeah, I could stand here and I can see both Whiterun and Solitude. But I'm supposed to believe that I'm in the middle of a tundra. Like, come on. But Elden Ring somehow escapes that pitfall despite being really dense, because there are areas that feel like desolate or empty somehow.
You know what,
but
they
in a good
do
way
really well too in that open world aspect? The day-night cycle. Like, I went and slept at a bonfire, waited until night, walked out of it, and there was just a boss standing right in front of it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
are you talking about the Black Knight on a horse?
No, I'm talking about the tree sentinel. He moves if you don't kill him.
Wait, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he moves if you don't kill him.
Oh, I didn't realize he ever left that like spawn area.
Oh no, I did.
No. The tree sentinel. I mean, like I didn't realize he was capable of leaving that area.
There's a you know the first horse guy that's like right outside of like the tutorial, and he's pretty tough if you try to fight him like as soon as you leave. Oh, is it a tree sentinel?
Yeah, that's the tree sentinel. Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of wanders back and forth. But there's a similar enemy that's like kind of a Black Knight sort of thing on the bridge that the wagon crosses with a chest, and I'd only ever been there during the day until like I played a little after work today, and I crossed the bridge at night, and normally on that bridge is one of the like regular horseback infantry. Actually, horseback infantry is that doesn't make any sense.
Got what you meant.
But you know what I'm talking about. And instead of that, there was like a Black Knight because I was there at night and I tested it. I went back during the day. He wasn't there. I waited till night and he was there. So there's time specific.
Is it a boss
too.
with like a health bar?
Yes.
Oh shit! I gotta go do that then because I had no idea.
He'll be easy.
That's fine. I just want to go kill him.
For sure. There are
but that surprised me. I was like,
don't.
There's the bats, I guess, at night that's obvious, but they're not super interesting.
Well, there are special enemies that don't have health bars that give you specific items. Like there is just this lone wandering knight that I killed, and I got on weapon ash art. I'm like, what?
The thing that I was fighting right before we did this doesn't have a boss health bar, and I've fought him like 15 times now. So
I think I killed that guy. The fun fact: unrespawnable enemy that you were fighting there. So when you kill him,
I assumed he would respawn. So
interesting.
Are you talking about the guy that's like way in the north?
Yeah. Well, there's a handful of that enemy.
I've fought that enemy before, but they were much easier. This guy's got a lot of
variant of some
and
sort.
the arena's too small. A lot of his animations, he runs away from you, and the arena's too small, so he just sprints against the wall for 5 seconds. It's really awkward.
Yeah.
Fun fight,
like we said before, looking at the seams of the game.
Yeah, you can see. It's not like exactly. Like it's nitpicking because overall, like the world is easily one of the most like interesting open worlds that's ever been done, in my opinion.
I do have a nitpick.
Yeah.
Do you see what I posted in? I found a ring in there last night.
Was it dog?
Yeah, it's dog.mp4. If you want to quickly just scrub that video.
Oh, is this a video of you breaking it?
Oh, yeah, you did. I won't show this because I think it could be considered spoiler territory.
I've never seen one jump.
Yeah, they jump. And you're not supposed to get on top of them. At least when they're moving.
That's funny.
You are not.
Yeah. What's funny, though, is that I would have guessed that that's the way you're supposed to do that.
I thought so, too. And then I hit it in the leg, and I discovered what you're supposed to do. And even funnier is I had bought the instructions from a merchant on how to get them to sit down. I just never read it. I just figured it out. And then I felt stupid for not reading all the notes I bought.
But yeah, I think like just in general, like the ability to explore the open world is a plus, and then the fact that it just is like super, super well done just makes it even better. The other thing too is like I don't know really much about like Dark Souls lore, I guess, because they don't really give you much in the game.
No.
And to say that Elden Ring gives you like a lot more would be a lie, but it does give you more. And for that reason, just like even like a tiny like crumb more of context and information that they give you, I find the world to be like way more interesting, and like I just want to know more about like the stuff that's in it.
Yeah, well, you don't spawn in and the game explains every little thing to you.
No.
Like you feel like you're just making discoveries as opposed to like it's
it does kind of make me wonder though, like cuz George R.R. Martin's name has been attached to this from the beginning, but I'm also I'm also playing the game and I'm kind of like, George, you here?
I'm waiting to get all the way to the north, and then the fucking White Walkers attack me. Like, what's that'd actually be a good enemy for this game.
Apparently,
of him only writing the messages for Trifinger Butthole for every single.
Yeah, that was a good meme. Here, let me pull that up. But yeah, like apparently what he did was the world building, which I guess doesn't really surprise me. But But it's kind of like, I would believe too if they were just like, he did nothing and this is just like a Miyazaki game. Like I would completely believe that.
He had as much influence as Tom Clancy did on Rainbow Six Siege. Like,
it sounds like he had an influence, but I don't know. It's not like, there's nothing about it that just screams like George R.R. Martin wrote this to me. Anyways,
right.
Here's the meme I was talking about real quick.
It's good world building,
so
but not something that From is incapable of without him. So, like,
Yeah.
if it was another studio that wrote shitty worlds and then this one was suddenly good, it would be different. But
yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I guess like I can sort of see in some of like the old English kind of influence on everything, like where he might have injected some of that.
There's a lot more focus on titles and nobility than I feel like there was in other
it's
games.
almost like the world in a lot of ways, like with some of the castles and like the just the hint. It's almost like there's like the hint that there used to be like a world with like factions with influence and stuff, and then it all kind of just went to shit. Like,
so all the Souls games are, and I've like. It always makes you think about what that world was like before everything went to shit. Like, it seems really interesting, but it's always like the apocalypse. So
right. Yeah, there's just a little bit more going on in this world than in like a Dark Souls world. But the ability to kind of like explore and make discoveries at your own pace, I think helps like, keep me kind of interested in like the next little crumb of information that I'm going to get.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some peanut butter so I can give my dog painkillers because she won't eat them.
Gotcha.
Look, Ryan, if you want to just go eat some peanut butter, that's fine. I love peanut butter.
You're right. You don't have to make a weird fucking excuse in the middle of the
And if you want to take your dog's drugs, it's whatever.
That's really unprofessional, dude.
Guys!
That's pretty
It tastes better with peanut butter. God!
This is Ryan's first and last time on the podcast.
Is this his first time on? I thought he bet on me.
It is his first time on, yeah. He's been on the stream before in some capacity, but yeah, I think it's his first time on the podcast. I guess in kind of a segue here, it wouldn't be a new Souls game without a discussion about whether this game should have an easy mode or not, which is always funny to me. And I don't know, like should the game have an easy mode? Probably not. I mean, if the people who made the game don't want it to have an easy mode, I don't know why the fuck it should be expected to have an easy mode. And not only that, but I think like people don't realize that like the game is designed with like a certain difficulty level in mind, and adding an easy mode would just like it would take more development time.
I'm not one of those purists that thinks that like, oh, it needs to be super frustrating and hard all the time. But I completely understand that they would be tarnishing like the whole feel of the game. And I mean, like Dark Souls, part of the theme, right, is that it's sort of implied that people that give up are added to the mindless undead, right?
Yeah.
Which is like a really cool concept. Like, you can't have that in an easy game if no one gives up, but you have to feel like you're overcoming something that they couldn't. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's the first time that a Souls-like game has had like this forgiving of a difficulty ramp. It doesn't mean
super
that
forgiving. You can
it doesn't mean the later enemies are going to be any easier.
The
but
options
I think
help.
There's so much content in the beginning that like allows people to kind of train themselves and get better at the game before they tackle some of the harder stuff.
I will put it this way, from my perspective, Dark Souls is a good game that feels like it doesn't want you to play it. Elden Ring is a good game that feels like it does want you to play it, basically.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's funny because I think if you ever do play Dark Souls 3, it's pretty much the same shit where you're given a boss right at the beginning that basically feels impossible the first time you play it. And all Dark Souls games are kind of like that, but at least with Elden Ring, they give you a taste of like how difficult some of the bosses are going to be, but it doesn't prevent you from moving forward. Can you imagine like the first boss that you run into in that game, if like you couldn't get past it? Like that's that's it. Like if you are unable to beat this boss right now, you're not going to be able to experience the rest of the game.
I feel
I
like
think...
the real like weed out moment is the tree sentinel, because so many streamers were just like, I'm just gonna fight this thing, I guess, and then fought it for like 5 hours. Meanwhile, it's just like you could just walk around it and not fight it. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, when I found out you
I
could
will
walk
say-
around Margit, I was like, oh.
you can, but you do have to beat Margit.
I just thought it was funny because I'm like, wow, I can explore almost the entire world without fighting him.
I actually didn't realize that. I thought you did have to go through
Yeah, I did not
Stormville.
know
I
that.
accidentally found a path around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
was
what I
really
first
surprised.
found. I didn't realize Margit was even there.
Yeah.
Two things. I will say, it's really cool that you can go and just ignore that guy. However, if you go the wrong way, you encounter a ruins area with a lot of really easy enemies, and then you get to a treasure chest that teleports
Yeah.
you to one of the hardest
That's
areas
so
in the
funny.
game.
It's actually so funny.
It doesn't even
Are you
tell you
talking
how to...
about the cavern with the mining? Is that what? Are you
Yes.
talking about a
Well,
different?
there's
yeah.
multiple.
No,
That place is
there.
There's multiple things
hard
like
to get
that.
out of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The
and so you don't even know all the mechanics of the game. So in my experience, I didn't know that you could fast travel because I didn't get to the bonfire to tell you that you could
Wait, you were
fast
that
travel.
early on
You
when you got
veered
teleported?
off that
Yes!
quickly.
Holy
I
shit.
turned
Oh my
straight
God.
right.
You
And I
went
was
to the-
like,
you went to
I'm
the worst
stuck. Do
possible
I just
place.
walk back?
You
I
literally
think it
did
is
the
a
worst possible thing.
little dumb that they put that chest that close to like your starting
Well,
point.
so
But
it
yeah,
tells you about the map, but it doesn't tell you that you can fast travel on that screen. It tells you can fast travel at the bonfire after that one.
which is
Which is,
funny because there's a
you know.
big arrow on your map pointing at that position, and like the grace itself has like a big golden streak
Yeah.
pointing that way, and the church is visible right there. So it's like, well, I'm going there. Like
Oh,
obviously.
fuck that. I went straight right. I was like, I don't want to deal with the tree sentinel. I'm going that way.
I almost always in every game do everything that like the game's not telling me to do first, which is why I haven't fought Margit. Well, I have fought Margit. I just haven't beat him yet.
Mhm.
And even still, I was like, well, there's a church right there. I guess I'll see what's down there. So you didn't even have a horse yet.
No, I had
That's
no horse.
painful.
I couldn't level up.
Did you just
I
run
didn't know I
back?
could-
Like,
No, I made it.
I am
to
actually
the
still in
very
the cave as we speak.
No, I made it to the very
I know exactly
entrance.
where he is.
Yeah.
I got attacked by a T-Rex dog. And then I angrily looked at the map and
T-Rex
I was like,
dog.
I should be right here. And I hit X and it said, would you like to travel here? I'm like, are you?
Oh, you got
that
the
was
you got the
great.
full experience.
Oh yeah, I went 100% mod.
But yeah, I mean, just in terms of like the difficulty in general, I mean, there were sort of people of two minds before this game came out. Like there were people who were thinking, like, people were legitimately worried that the game was going to be too easy. I definitely, like, with the dust settled a bit, I definitely don't think the game is too easy. If anything, I think the consensus, and at least like my experience with my limited kind of repertoire of Souls experience, is that it has some of the hardest, depending on how you play the game, it has some of the hardest things in a Souls game that you can possibly do.
One thing I want to point out is a lot of the difficulty built into the game is entirely contingent on how you want to play it. So if you're struggling with a boss, you can do summons. If you're struggling with a boss, you can do the like soul summons where like you have like the bell.
Which I haven't been I have been summoning in this game for like overworld bosses and like really annoying dungeon bosses, but I have not been doing it for like main story stuff.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. Like, but the thing is, the player is entirely a deciding factor in how difficult they want experience
exactly.
to be. So the idea of there even being like their game needs to be like an easy mode. The easy mode's built in. It's built into like all of the stuff they give you. If you want to have a more challenging experience, don't use the stuff they give you. Like,
I definitely come across a few things that are like, okay, this is way below the point where I'm expected to be, I guess, like for this to be difficult. Like I just fought the seamster guy.
Yeah.
No,
Mm-mm.
but
Okay, he's super hidden. You need to look out for a cluster of messages on the ground that'll point out where he is. Otherwise, like, I mean, he does a voice call out to you that helps you find him, but he's pretty damn well hidden. And I found him, and like part of his thing is you have to fight like a boss. It's like a world enemy, but at that point it's like the situation where bosses turn into world enemies. But I'd fought the boss as a world enemy already, and I'm pretty sure I also had a summon to help me out, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even needed to fight because I used the summon and then I used the ashes, and I probably could have just sat back and watched as they killed the boss.
and then on the flip side, I've experienced boss fights where my summons didn't help me at all. Like the dragon in the swamp at the beginning. I was like, I'm gonna summon my wolves to like draw some aggro, and one breath of fire kills the wolves. Like it just straight up like
Yeah.
And so, but the dragon, at least in my opinion, ended up being pretty easy because it's kind of intended for you to do on horseback, which makes it pretty easy to dodge his attacks and stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh, my summon just didn't help me at all. That's neat.
That's another...
Summons are better with bosses that have minions, so that they can tie them down while you can Otherwise, they get killed pretty quickly.
That's another like difficulty scaling thing. Like anytime you see a message that says try horseback, like your immediate thought should be, maybe I won't try horseback and see if I can beat it. Because it genuinely like changes the combat experience from if you're just riding on horses.
I kind of think
that easier enemies are pretty easy on horseback, but then bosses with like big sweeping attacks, it's really hard to dodge with your horse. At least for me. So I if I'm having difficulty with something on horseback, I'll jump off, and it usually changes it.
I do think that for me, the dragon and the tree sentinel were easier on horseback, but
I'm surprised because I
definitely
the
depends.
Dragon and got flamed, and then I figured I'd come
you gotta not
so.
charge it. You gotta run it, like use your dash to run away. Anyways, was Ryan saying something? I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I didn't say anything. Garrett was saying something about me.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to chime in.
Oh, I just wanted to say one of the better things that I found in that game that doesn't take away from the challenging part of it is the statues of Maria or Mara or whatever it is. So,
yeah.
Marka?
Yeah, Marka. Is it Marka? I don't know.
The statues of Mark.
Statues of America. Yeah.
And I'm proud. No, I just.
And I'm proud. That's all you had to say.
Fuck.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like it makes attempting and reattempting things easier.
It's so good, and it enables you to do the boss for 5 hours because you're like, I'm just gonna try one more time.
That was one of the things that was a major complaint from Nick while he's been streaming Dark Souls. It's a colossal pain, and I agree. There are areas where the running back to the boss is such a colossal pain in the ass, and there's nothing fun about running.
Yeah, no, it's
enemies. It just enemies every single time.
It's frustrating to die over and over to a boss, but like all I want to do when I die to a boss is just attempt it again. So the part that makes me the most angry is not dying to the boss, it's knowing that I'm going to have to run all the way back to the boss.
Running past enemies is easy too. Like most of the time
it's easy, but it's just annoying.
Like, them. But it takes time. Yeah.
And every now and then you have something like the Sentinels in Orlando that will just like randomly hit a swipe on you and do like 3/4 of your health bar, like
before the boss.
Yeah. So my ideal, like, and I thought about this before Elden Ring came out. My like ideal like version of Dark Souls 1 that I would enjoy the most is if you could respawn like closer to where you died, but just with like losing the flasks that you've already spent basically, and just like, and you could decide to keep respawning closer, and then until you needed to go back to the bonfire for some reason, then like you're out of Estus or something, then you could go back, because then you could at least attempt things like over and over again.
So Sekiro did something kind of cool in it where it was, sorry to switch.
No, it's fine, go for it.
But, where you had multiple lives, so you lose your health bar, you go down, and then you could resurrect. like once, and then you could use
yeah,
an
that
item
is
to
pretty
resurrect
cool.
again. Yeah, and that was super cool because it would be mid boss fight, and you'd die, and then you'd just go, never mind, I'm back, and then the boss would like de-aggro on you, so you'd get like a cool swing or two on him.
Yeah,
But,
it's kind of like in the
like-
same way that like in Dark Souls, your Estus is like, it's not just a healing potion; it's almost like a currency that you use like in your fight.
Yeah.
Like your lives are like something that you kind of budget for when you approach a fight.
One game design thing that I think is really good to highlight about Elden Ring that really I think it's entirely contingent on the fact that it's an open world experience, but the fact that it will replenish health and just flasks in general after a combat situation is just like a really, really cool mechanic, because in any other circumstance, every single time you have a fight, you would be running back to a site of grace like every single time. So them introducing that mechanic is awesome, because then you're not constantly going back to a campsite.
Yeah, and you have generally, at least compared to like Dark Souls, where you can like kindle bonfires and stuff, you have less healing in general than you do in that game. So it helps in that regard too, and just like the ability to like kind of not constantly but more frequently be like reinforcing your flask is also.
You're saying kindling's not? I mean, there's kind of kindling, right? Wait, no,
you can't really kindle the sites of grace,
flask,
but you can reinforce your flask. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At this point, if I'm at 1 health and I use my flask, it goes to like 95% full.
Yeah. Well, I did. So, all right. There's two other things that I want to touch on, at least in terms of difficulty. One of the things that I've noticed about this game, and like I like it, like I can appreciate the game design that's going on there, but also it has like infuriated me to no end. And I'm actually curious what you guys who have played more Souls games, how you guys feel about this. But the timings of the enemies in this game feel like they were specifically designed to fuck you up.
Some of them, yeah, for sure.
Yep, that's 100% true.
Like I've noticed, I was fighting I won't say anything about the boss in particular, but I was fighting the boss that's at Castle Morn. And that boss does these like, it has kind of like a smaller sword with like less reach, but it does these big like spinning attacks. And what I've been doing is like, what I was doing that was fucking me up was when it would do that attack, I would mash B twice to just like buffer a roll. And always I would get hit on the second one because its second blow would land like just outside of my iframes. And I was like, okay, I guess I can't just buffer my roll. I guess I have to like deliberately like time that second roll as well. And it feels like that kind of holds true of like almost every enemy in the game. Like I even think about the imps that are in like every dungeon and how they will randomly just like hang back and like do nothing, and then all of a sudden they'll just like jump at you like as soon as you try anything. Like
I love that in the
I hate those fucking
style,
gargoyle things. I hate them so much. I hate
those things, but it's such a true characteristic to the creature, right? Like the imp is kind of mischievous, so it'll just kind of
they're
wait
stoned,
for its
though.
opportunity.
They're not even really imps though.
They're called imps. They're called imps though.
Are they called imps?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
That's a weird. I don't know. That doesn't fit.
I don't know. He said imp. I knew what he was talking about.
I knew what he was talking about because he mentioned the dungeons. It just seems like a weird name for the monster. But
apparently
Ryan,
they're in Dark Souls 3
Catacomb
too.
and see how you feel.
Yeah,
about
let me just quickly pull that up on my map and find that.
Well, it is 9:40.
Is it? It's 8. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, I'm in Eastern time.
Yeah. But on that, yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just gonna say I'm giving up on Dark Souls today because of this one. My dog decided to get drugged up.
It's a good thing we're talking about Elden Ring and not Dark Souls.
That's true. Yeah.
Come play Elden Ring. You don't have to play Dark Souls.
I've been reading the chat, and somebody was like, "Yeah, the imps are just pulled straight from Dark Souls 3," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, Dark Souls 3."
I don't know if I got to a point where I had to deal with them. I don't remember.
Probably not.
I haven't played it, so I don't know. But yeah,
Oh, they are pulled
sorry,
from Dark
I'm-
Souls
I'm
3.
just gonna
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
The other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of this was the bosses, and specifically I want to talk about Margit, which I believe that that only myself and Garrett have beaten.
You haven't kneeled yet.
You've got the blood of a warrior, don't you? Let me just smash the fuck out of you.
That's exactly what he says. Yeah.
I have a limited experience.
That's a Tolkien writing.
But I will say that it is.
Tolkien came from the grave. Sorry, what, Nick?
I will say for me, what like at least at the level that I was doing it at, one of the hardest like Dark Souls bosses that I fought, and probably my favorite in terms of just like the moveset and just like the coolness of the fight. I fucking loved it. The thing that like blows me away about that fight is that he just keeps pulling out new moves. I swear to God, I was fighting him for an hour and I was still seeing new shit. I was like, where the fuck did this like... One of the most demoralizing moves that he did was that is if he hits you, not with like the long like smashing hammer attack, but when he does that like close range like hammer swipe, if he knocks you over with that, then he takes his like golden sword and he just fucking executes you. I have never felt worse about a death in any video game than when that happened to me. I was like, wow, I just got owned.
I didn't realize he had a tail, and I tried to backstab him,
all of
and
a
then
sudden-
he just fucking,
He doesn't use his tail all that often, so it really surprises me when he does.
That's the other
gets
thing.
Me every time.
That's the other thing about this game is that even like the minor enemies, I notice again the imps doing this a lot as well. Like they'll have readable combos, and then like every like 2, 3, 4 times they'll like just throw in something else like different.
Yeah.
And it's just like and Margit is like that, except like everything is just like super unpredictable. Like you walk a little bit too close to him, he's got his fucking daggers out. You walk a little bit too far away, he's throwing a dagger at you. Like
yep. A lot of it is contingent on like how the distance from the player to the enemy. So
yeah.
When a boss has like an attack that is a 3 times swipe or whatever, if you're too far away for like the second swipe, he won't even do the third one, right?
Yeah.
Or sometimes he just won't do the third one because he of a random number generator.
It doesn't feel like
that's
it.
One of the reasons why like reading the moves are really fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just straight up won't do the attack you expect.
I know. Yeah. But I like that like I like that FromSoft has like responded to the ways that people play their game. Not by just making it outright difficult, but just like adding in new things that will challenge the people that are fans of their games. Like it's not like if you were really good at Dark Souls 3, you will automatically like just know how to beat everything in Elden Ring, because they threw in like little like curveballs and like and stuff like that.
New spells and stuff.
And I feel like Margit is just like the perfect example of that. And not only that, but like has to go down as probably one of the biggest difficulty spikes in any game ever, because you could literally be
it's a jump.
You could literally just be roaming the open world and then like run into that guy in about 2 hours flat from spawning and just get completely dicked around.
Yep.
It's so funny because I fought him like what? I maybe challenged him 20 times. And I think I have like someone has to extinguish the flame embedded in my fucking memories.
I still
fought him so many times.
I beat him a couple days ago.
Ending of Dark Souls 1 he picked, so based off of that.
Spoilers. I'm not there yet. But yeah, the music too, like the boss theme for him is so good.
It's incredible.
Like honestly, the music in the entire game is really good. I'm actually like, other than like nitpicky stuff, I find it really hard to like pinpoint one thing that I'm just like that I don't like that about this game. Like it's just little stuff here and there, but like everything. Yeah, but is it a nitpick or is it like an overarching issue?
It's the fact that multiplayer is a consumable.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Did you see my post in the Discord?
You can
it's a consumable, but you can craft it with a very, very common ingredient, so it's not an issue anymore. I could craft 60 of them right now. And if you're with a group, and like circulating it and doing okay, you'll run out really slow. So
Yeah.
If you're doing okay,
it's not as bad as I
we're gonna do
thought.
okay.
I do think like
pick more flowers.
I do think that the co-op system is like getting a little bit dated at this point. And I think if you want to just like play co-op with your friends, I feel like and the game like is programmed to allow this too. I feel like they should just allow you to do it, to just drop in, drop out.
Yeah.
But like now with summoning other players like at random, kind of just in different occasions, I feel like it's fine if that is like a consumable and you have to actually like touch the summon sign and stuff like that. I have no problem with that. But I feel like if you want to like just run around in the open world with your friends, I feel like they should just allow you to do that.
I'm waiting for the network mod that somehow finds a way to get that to work, because I feel there's a lot of people who are playing multiplayer right now and they see the weird restraints of, oh, you can't go outside this specific area. You've been partitioned to just fight the boss in this area with your friends. It seems like a problem that could be a technical limitation from software's perspective, or something that could be solved with a mod in the future. So I'm hoping for the latter.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it might be a situation where you have to run like a private or dedicated server, so you're not like on FromSoft's network, But yeah, I mean, I agree with that. It's like, it's one thing, like, there's the whole debate about, like, should something like Skyrim have co-op? But that's, like, a totally different discussion from, like, this game already has co-op, so why is it so unnecessarily hard to just play with your friends?
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I can agree with that the multiplayer is still a little bit jank. But for me at least, like this is like a single player experience first and foremost, and it doesn't like detract from me enjoying the game. And if I don't like that system, I will kind of just like choose to not engage with it, or engage with it like in a limited capacity. But I definitely get what you're saying, Ryan. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, there's not really anything like in the core gameplay or in the world that I've been like a little disappointed by that. Maybe like the horseback combat is not like the greatest thing ever, but to be honest, comparing it to like other games that have horseback combat, I honestly can't think of one that is like definitely better than this. I just think that like it's just hard to do it right.
Sure.
I feel like
I get Breath of the Wild vibes a little bit.
Oh, really? I get a different vibe. I get Parker, what's that game that you love?
Shadow of the Colossus.
It literally could be anything.
I only like one game.
It's like
oh yeah, Stardew Valley. Yeah, I love that game.
Mountain Blade.
Yeah, it's a good.
Oh, Mountain Blade.
Yeah, I love Mountain Blade.
Yeah. Mountain Blade, I think, has like. I almost want to say. Well, I haven't tried other weapons in Elden Ring, but I want to say that Mountain Blade focuses a lot on making sure the horseback combat's good.
Yeah, Mountain Blade also, I would say, I would go as far as to say has kind of like a niche, like esoteric combat system that's definitely not going to be for everyone. Which I guess the same could be said for Elden Ring as well. But
the actual combat system in Mountain Blade takes a pretty big like back seat to like the whole strategy and
that too,
aspect of it. It's not super important to it.
And it's also
like,
that's
it's
also
not
a mouse and keyboard game. Like you cannot play that game on controller. I if it even allows it, like I can't imagine how you would. Because you kind of like aim your weapons with your mouse. Like
you could make it work, but it would be awkward by comparison. It's already kind of awkward on mouse and keyboard. So.
Well, to be fair, you can't really play Elden Ring on mouse and keyboard at all. So you can, but I don't know why you would ever want to.
No.
Well, apparently someone beat a boss with a Ring Fit controller already, so.
Someone
already.
What? There's the DDR controller too.
How?
Do that.
Ring Fit controller? It's like a Switch fitness game.
Oh.
Yeah.
How
beat it with the Wii Yoga Pad?
Wait, did they release? Is Elden Ring on the Switch?
Wait,
it's not.
No,
question in chat: how is the horseback combat in Kingdom Come? I played a bit of Kingdom Come. I don't know that I got to like horse combat. Can either of you guys speak to that?
I barely used it, only to chase people down that were running away. Game. Otherwise, I would jump off and fight. I'm not saying it's bad. I just barely did it because it just wasn't fun compared to like fighting.
It's a means of traveling. Like, doing anything related to combat, I don't have any recollection of doing that at all in that game.
There's just not a lot of situations where it's like it even really makes sense.
Yeah. The combat was difficult in that game from what I remember, but not memorable. Like it was very like sloggy. Like it was kind of just about like, and I guess like it's funny that like saying this out loud, it just sounds like Dark Souls, but it's like so different in every way. But it is kind of just about learning and responding to combos, but then doing that for such an annoyingly long time.
The worst thing about Kingdom Come's combat, Jesus, that's a lot of anyway. Was the
yes, the combat.
There was they're called like master strikes or some shit like that, and it made it so that when fighting higher level enemies, you had no choice but to wait for them to attack first and then do like what's essentially a parry. Because if you attacked first, nothing you could do about it. You would be locked into an animation where you would take damage. It just takes control, and it sucked. Otherwise, I liked the combat like well enough, but that just ruined it. There was mods at one point. I don't know if it got updated to just remove master strikes from the game because it just fucked it up so much.
That game was a lot of fun though. I might go back to it.
It's a really impressive like God, I don't even know if I want to call it like an immersive sim, but like just as kind of like a sandbox, it's very impressive. Yeah. Like how much stuff is going on and like how much stuff is being like simulated. But yeah, I don't know if I found the game to be fun as much as I did just find like the world to be impressive and stuff like that. I guess it was fun to just like move through the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of the mechanics. They were kind of fresh. I just wish that the game had been a little less janky and a bit more fleshed out. But
that game is like peak Euro jank.
yeah.
It's made by some like Czech company or something like that, and it's basically I think it might be their only game so far. I'm sure like the people on the team have worked on other games, but
it did like mocap and shit. It's crazy that they had enough money to do that. I guess it was a Kickstarter game, wasn't it? Right?
Kingdom Come?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Really? I kind of remember that being a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was crowdfunded.
They're working on a second one now, which I'm hopeful that the second one will be like well, I'll say like The Witcher 2 to the first game's Witcher 1 because The Witcher 1 is pure jank and The Witcher 2 is a little bit jank, but a much like better, more polished game overall. But yeah, in terms of just like closing out the Elden Ring discussion, I love the game. I don't know, like I don't know if I would give it like a score, but it's definitely the most like fun and most excited I've been about a new game in a long time. And what I like too is like playing the game while everyone else is like playing it for the first time too, and just like being able to like share information and shit, like is kind of an experience that I feel like is really, at least like in my limited experience, is really vital to a Souls game. Like it's just like kind of the learning and like knowledge sharing, which is not something that you get in games either that like just hold your hand through the experience. So I think that's cool and has definitely elevated my experience as well. And I like that just everyone, like fucking everyone on Earth is just playing and talking about this game right now, which is cool as well. It's nice to see
I wasn't gonna buy it for a while, but I couldn't avoid it, and
I couldn't either.
I'm kind of glad I was getting spammed with it on like every website I looked at, because I kind of thought it's a Souls game. I like them, but not that much, and they're fucking awesome.
It's the first time that a game has been chilled this hard, and I've actually like enjoyed it for
like
expectations going in.
Yep.
A comparison could be made to the amount of hype that Cyberpunk had.
Yeah.
I would say a better comparison though is like Witcher 3, because people were excited for Witcher 3 and the game came out and it was just good. Like
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you not play Witcher?
I don't know. No, I did not. I haven't played any Witcher game.
Okay. You might like it.
I think it's a little too late for me to jump into it because it's such a time commitment.
Well, that is
Meanwhile,
true.
Elden Ring,
Lost Ark. What the fuck are you talking
about? This dude has 50 hours in Lost Ark.
Motherfucker. Hold on.
No.
I do. Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
I got to get back to my idle clicker game. Hold on, guys.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but you should play The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it out because it's like I feel like in The Witcher 3 it's like a lot of deep stuff, whereas Lost Ark isn't quite deep things to remember, you know? Also, I started playing with The Witcher 3 and then my only save ended up being right when a horse was kicking me in the face.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it got like
so
corrupted or something, and I was like, how is this a theme with every game you play?
Yeah, Windows Live came back from the grave and installed itself onto a Witcher 3. I can't play it anymore.
Not every theme. It's just, most things. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably just jump into it, but like, I don't know.
Well, when you're done with Lost Ark, you can start that one. How about
as if that's a game you complete. There's still people playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Listen, you say that, but in 20 years, when I have 50% of the collectibles, we'll see who's there.
Yeah, when you have all the cocoa leaves or whatever the fuck.
Cocoa NFTs.
Yeah, the Makoko.
Whatever that.
But
once you collect all those, then you can play Witcher 3.
I guess where I kind of wanted to go with that was it's nice for like a AAA game to just like release and be hyped and like just be good and like people just like it. The only real problem it seems is like the PC performance. I know for sure at least we're all playing on PC, right?
Yeah.
Is anyone having like bad issues? Ryan, you mentioned something about like disappearing enemies or some shit like that.
So
Never seen
motherfucker,
that.
I was going through the game and as soon as I got my horse, I started traveling around and I'd get upon some random enemies and they'd be in focus and then we'd start fighting. Fuck off. And then all of a sudden their model would just disappear, but I would still be getting attacked by them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, is this like this specific enemy that does this? And I threw a message out to Nick and Parker goes, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, never had that issue. It turns out...
I'm sorry. The fix was I had to turn down my graphics settings.
Oh,
like,
that's weird.
That's
weird.
Were you having performance issues otherwise?
No, literally everything else was fine. It's just that enemies would turn invisible, and I was like, "Am I just playing a harder game than everybody else?" Yes, I was.
There are certain areas with like a ridiculous amount of like pieces of content that has to load in. So I've experienced frame drops like a few separate times, mainly in like the spawn area, but there's a couple other areas where I have that. But it doesn't overall like it's not consistent enough to piss me off.
Apparently the bug that causes the stuttering and frame drops like at the bottom of the hill between the church and the spawn area where the tree sentinel is, apparently that's a known issue and it's not tied to like your graphics card or anything. It's a software issue. Like it's that whatever causes that is baked into the game.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So I don't know if that's how it is everywhere else, but apparently that is the problem there. But apparently everyone's experience is the same. If you fight the tree sentinel at the bottom of the hill there, your game just stutters like a madman. But for me, it's been all right. I avoided fighting the tree sentinel down there, and then the only other time I got like bad frames or stuttering really was on the first day before I had installed my latest graphics drivers. As I was going up to like that lower gate to Stormvale Castle where like the ballista is, I believe. Or is it the ballista, or do they just throw they just throw the flaming shit at you? Either way, though, I was there at night and it was foggy, and my game was like not having it. Like went down to like 20, 30 frames. But then I got the new
horseback combat is usually the most stuttering that I get. Otherwise, I don't really get it. It's almost always on a horse. I don't know why.
Research loading is faster.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Like you're.
No, I mean like even if I'm just like circling an enemy, it just.
I got it. I started to get some stuttering like 3 hours into just like trying to beat Margit, and like it started like 3 hours in. So I have no idea why that would be. I wonder if the game has like a memory leak or something.
Yeah, when I was fighting him, my load times got longer and longer until I just got an infinite loading screen and I had to hold
That's exactly what happened. Wait, did it happen while you were fighting Margit?
Yeah,
that happened to me too.
A memory leak.
Well, there's an update.
Oh, is there?
Started, yeah, 13 megabyte update that just showed up.
I wonder if it's a
That's
performance update or
probably
if it's
sad.
something
I must
else.
have already downloaded it. I'm not seeing that.
It's a nice little band-aid. Well, you said you were playing before this, so probably.
Yeah, and well, I also dismissed some updates that had completed like during the stream, and I didn't look at what they were for. So one might have been for Elden Ring.
I don't think we can never talk about Elden Ring after this podcast. By the way, this is the only time we can ever talk about it.
Yeah, well,
Why?
actually, it's kind of funny because the reason that that I decided not to play it on stream was, for one, because it would take me a lot longer to play through it, and I'm already playing through Dark Souls on stream, so my stream would just like become a Souls only stream, which is not like I enjoy the games, but it's not what I want my stream to be, really. But also because I just feel like if people are holding off on the game or they're watching other streamers play it, that they just wouldn't want to watch me play it. So that was kind of like my logic there. And I'm really glad I didn't, because I've actually just been having kind of like a really good time, like just like playing it when I'm not streaming or like just on the weekends. And I've been enjoying it the way that I used to enjoy games, which was without a bunch of people watching me play.
Have you considered doing like pre-recorded VODs or something like that for?
It's just a lot of work. It's nice to pick up the game and just play it like when I want to. I run my replay buffer like on OBS, so I've got the clips like saved anyways, so like anything like funny that happens or whatever, I've been saving it, so I might just make like a little like highlight reel video, but I'm not like commentating it or anything. I'm just playing.
Sure. Okay.
An entire channel list on Twitch is Elden Ring and Risk of Rain. Meanwhile, me, like, those are the two games that I'm the most excited about right now. Elden Ring and then the Risk of Rain 2 DLC just came out today, so hell yeah. But yeah, that's I don't know. Anyone have any closing thoughts on Elden Ring?
It good.
It is good.
Game.
It's a good game.
Play game.
I haven't enjoyed a game like this I haven't enjoyed a game like this in a long time, and it's been really fun to play without like looking at the wiki and everything. I've never enjoyed a game before.
This is actually the first game that I've played.
Yeah,
Imagine
I've tried
that.
so many. I don't want to. Yeah, it's good though. I'm really surprised at how much I'm liking it.
Good game. I thought it was going to be more Norse mythology based because of the big old yellow tree, but you know, I don't really give a shit.
Oh, the tree, like the life tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can see that.
I think the game though, it's like, at least like where it's drawing from lore wise is like it's all over the place. Like they've got like they've got some stuff that's like kind of Norse. I would say a lot of it has kind of like an old English, like I don't know, like Gaelic almost like vibe to it. And then like there's just some like Japanese, like Asian type like mythology in there as well. Like
play a samurai.
Yeah, I think the Japanese thing is supposed to be like what, like another like continent or something.
Yeah,
like they're foreigners, something like that.
But they sort of just like kitchen sinked it with the like with the mythology and stuff.
What's kind of cool too is the castles and like the shit, what are they called? Like the old like broken down towers are more like old English, and then like the city is moving towards, especially the capital city, is more like Gothic architecture, which actually like lines up with, I'm pretty sure, like architectural history, which makes it feel distinct.
Yeah,
I see a lot of Bloodborne architecture ideas placed in some of the castles, which is really fucking cool.
And Orlando kind of stapled around, which is neat.
I'm trying to even think, like, you would think the architecture guy would have a word for this, but Stormvale Castle has like I don't know if that's like a Romanesque or like what you would call that look, but it's got that very like, I guess it's kind of Gothic. But that building is really impressive, and especially like how you spawn and then it's like right on the top of the hill, and then like you kind of work your way up there. It's very cool.
Yeah, there was an area, by the way, that I loved. I like skirted around the castle, and then it was super foggy, and I just looked in the distance, and I saw like a castle illuminated in the fog, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go fucking there. That's a place I'm going.
You saw Ray's Lucaria
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, no, I have
Lucario?
a photo of when I first ran into that a while back, and I think Nick saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time you witness that castle is like a really like holy shit, this game's fucking huge.
Well, yeah, I mean that's where I was at too, because like as I was unlocking like what I now realized is like the lower part of the map, I was like, man, this game is really big. And then I'm not like really diligently like avoiding spoilers. I don't want really any like bosses or anything spoiled for me, or like main story stuff. But like I looked at the map because I just was curious how big the game was. And I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I'm in the southern like third of the map. There's so much more like once you get past Stormvale, like that's like when the game begins. But yeah,
it's nuts. Especially because I thought I was almost done with that like bottom third like starting area, and I'm still just going back and forth and finding whole new things. So, it's crazy.
One thing I want to point out, I feel like our opinions of the game will mature as like we try to like finish the game. I'd be interested in
as we mauled more and more.
As we mauled and mauled more. Yeah, I will be really, really interested once we're all through the main story, kind of like reconvene at some point and see if we still have the same opinions that we did.
Yeah, do like a spoiler cast for Elden Ring, because we're kind of like we're skirting around some spoilers, but like nothing we talked about was past Margit, which is like it could be like 1-2 hours into the game if you want.
That's the network test stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. That's all been out there for a while. So
I thought the final boss was a bit hard, but you know, it was
yeah, it was strange.
It was a bit weird.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Is that your bit that you're just gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's my bit.
I'm a bit of a gamer, guys.
I'm a bit of a gamer.
You gotta work on that bit.
My dog.
All right, I think did you just put the lampshade on her?
Yes, I did.
All right, I think we could probably honestly talk for a lot longer about Elden Ring if I don't cut it off eventually. So I will set you guys free so you can just go back to playing Elden Ring instead of just talking about it.
Yeah, you boys ready to go do what we were doing? Ryan, are you hopping on?
I'll put my dog to bed. She's already sleeping, but I'll put her in actual bed, and then I'll come and jump on with y'all.
I want what she's on, man. It looks.
Are you guys
nice.
all playing Elden Ring?
Yeah, we're all gonna play.
You bet your ass.
Oh my god!
You want your uterus removed, Parker? We could do that.
If all four of us end up playing, Nick, I can try and help you again with Impalers.
I may be on later. I had something else that I wanted to do on stream. So
yeah, Nick.
All right,
we've got me, the support character, Garrett, the long range DPS, and Parker, the tank.
The tank that gets crushed into the fucking floor and then leaves you two to finish the boss.
And then we both
I'm stubborn with my flask, man. When you get summoned, so you only have like 3 of them, I'm way too conservative, and I'll be like, I'm at half health, I'll be fine, and I get 1 hit.
Parker, you get your flask maximum divided by 2. So if you allocated an odd amount, like
I'm allocating an odd amount, but what I'm allocating is 7.
I'm lost.
So
I'm also lost.
I guess 3 either way.
This is not good podcast content.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys can have this conversation. I'm going to end the podcast, but I will.
Okay.
I am going to keep.
I forgot we were on a podcast.
I am going to keep streaming. I think I'm going to play some Blood West for a little bit because I haven't finished that game yet. And I guess these guys I'm going to set free to go play Elden Ring. I got it. Dad's got to work. But thank you guys for coming on, and thanks everyone in chat for hanging out. I'm just going to take a quick break, and I will be right back. See you in a moment.
Bye, chat.